get absorbed in, and you are Sonic.
What's up, everybody? I'm Taylor Olmstead, and I want to welcome you back to No Repeat, a podcast where we pick 3 songs every week with no repeats and no do-overs to create a perfect playlist for every occasion life throws at you. Joining me are my co-hosts, Tyler Reed.
It's time to steal the Declaration of Independence of music.
And Sean Evans.
Hey. I forgot that,
This week, the role of Tyler will be played by Nicolas Cage.
I forgot that movie didn't have anything to do with time travel.
How could you forget that?
my wife watched that movie this weekend, and then we watched the China Illinois episode where they spoof it. I think that she got a kick out of it a little bit more because she knew the movie.
Oh, boy, it is not a great movie.
I sure didn't.
She's the sweetest thing.
Well, Tyler, what was our challenge this week?
This week, we were challenged to be time thieves and steal the perfect song from the past and claim it as our own. This is sent in by Sean Livingston.
This was one of the more unorthodox challenges we've ever received because it doesn't really give a lot of motivation. And that was really the challenge that I had with it, right? Like, I get the premise of you travel back in time and you're going to record a song before anybody else can record it. But then the question is, why? Are you doing it because the song is so good that you want it to be yours? Because if that's the case, then you're just picking, the best songs in the Pantheon. And that seemed like, A, too easy, and B, not really why I would want to go back, because I don't think I could do some of those songs justice, right? Like, I'm not going to be able to go back and do Under Pressure as good as David Bowie or Freddie Mercury can sing it, right? Like, it's not going to happen. And so instead, what I wanted to go for was a song that I felt like was good, but I don't like the way that the original is recorded, right? Like, the bones of the song are good, but there's something about the presentation of it that I just don't like. And if I were there, I would have done like 1 or 2 things just a little differently. And so I kind of amass songs that like I enjoy but have problems with that I want to go back and fix. But how did you guys approach this?
Wow. Yes, you really came at it like that?
I really did, yeah. That was my whole plan of attack.
Interesting. I just want to... When you make your pick, I think you're going to have some... You better, go get a P.O. box or something, because you got some hate mail coming your way. So this was kind of difficult for me, because I kind of thought a little bit sort of similar to Taylor, because I wouldn't have, gone back in time to make the corrections. I would have gone back to pick a song that was, really influential that I could, make a ton of money off of. But then I thought... In order for it to be popular, I would have to be the one making it popular. So I couldn't, be in the future. What would now be the future? What would then be the future? But then be popular at the time. It's kind of the whole flaw in Yesterday, the movie about the Beatles, right? Like, you can't go back as if one of the most influential bands that ever existed ever didn't exist. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, now they do. So I tried to find something today that I really, really love that fits within my musical styling that I want to not steal, but just somehow write into history that I came up with it because it's that good. Legally distinct.
Okay, I get that.
But that said, if you went back in the past...
You're more of the recent past time travel, where I'm going back 30 years.
You're right, because the thing is, you can't go back in history and get that because you'd have to make the song, and you can't be in 2 places at once. So you can't make a popular song in, 1991 and then, be in 2020. Time doesn't work like that.
I suppose.
I just asked for a little consistency.
Tyler, how did you approach this?
Great. So what I decided was, I said, well, I want to choose a song far away, and I want to choose a song that isn't the most popular song. I don't want to time thief their most popular song. I want to take a song that I personally like, that I feel like maybe is maybe a deep cut or didn't get as much fanfare. sort of like a song that I personally love that I feel like, well, if I made this song, it would be my number one song. But since another band who is more singles and more success than me, you're like, they wouldn't be that affected by that one song not existing in their repertoire. A small time crime.
That's fair.
You can't take Stairway to Heaven. You can't just take Stairway and be like, yep, it's mine now. It's a big time crime.
Yeah, I get that. Well, I don't really think we have anything else to say as far as the challenge itself, so we might as well get into some picks. You guys mind if I go first this week?
Do it.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so this week I chose In Between Days by The Cure.
Yesterday I got so old I felt like I could die. Yesterday I got so old it made me want to cry. Go on, just walk away. Go on, your choice is made. Go on, and disappear. Go on, away from me. And I know I was wrong when I said it.
So like I said at the top, I think In Between Days is a great song. I think it has all the bones of being a great song. It has a great chorus, really smart lyrics, and that lead guitar melody is just wonderful. It's one of those things that, like, it just kind of lodges itself in your brain, and when you hear it, you know that this is In Between Days. The challenge is, I feel like it's too slow. And the reason I feel this way is that I didn't originally hear The Cure's version of this song. I actually heard a Ben Folds cover of it and didn't realize that he did not write this song. He did a cover of this in like 2005, I think, and the original came out in 1985. And so I learned the song from the Ben Folds version, and it's just like a couple of clicks faster. And I feel like it makes that lead melody just a little more interesting to be a little bit faster. And I would love to hear what The Cure's version would have been like if it was just that tiny little bit faster.
Yesterday I got so old I felt like I could die. Yesterday I got so old it made me wanna cry. So go on, just walk away. Go on, your choice is made. Go on, and disappear. Go on, away from here. Yeah, I was wrong when I said it was true, that it couldn't be me.
So if I could be like the producer fly on the wall on this record when it was made in 1985, I would just speed this song up a little bit because I think it's a great song, but I really want just a little bit more pep to it. You know, it's ultimately kind of a love song, and I feel like at this medium tempo that The Cure plays it at, it doesn't really come across that way. It has this kind of like, yeah, you know, to it, whereas like at the speed that Ben plays it, it feels very propulsive and very emotive. So I want it to be just a tiny, tiny little bit faster.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. How do you take something and make it sound more like it should be in a High School Musical? And the answer is have Ben Folds cover it.
I'm not saying I'm not
God.
saying that you have to re-record it on piano like he does. I'm saying take The Cure's instruments and play it at the speed that he plays it.
I think that's your only that's what you want to do. That's like, out of all the songs in history that you could have picked, you chose this one.
Yeah, because I really like this song. It's just too slow.
And you wanted to speed it up by 10 beats.
Basically, yeah.
It's like, just do it in your home recording. Just do it in iTunes.
He could have stolen anything. He could have finally picked the Beatles for this one, and he picked, you know, in Between Days and said, I want to bump it up 10 points in meter.
Like I said, I didn't want to pick something that like I knew I couldn't do justice to, right? Like, how am I going to improve on a Beatles song? They're all basically flawless.
You're not improving. Well, you don't have to improve on it.
You're just swiping it.
You could just swipe
yoinking it.
See, I don't want to do that. I want them to be the way they are.
What?
I like them the way they are. I don't like this song the way that it is. I want it to be faster.
You know what? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this song and I want you to put it into some software and I want you to speed it up to what the tempo is that you think it is, and I want you to send it to me and we'll talk about it on Billie Joe Armstrong's Middle School Notebook.
Quick plug, if you support us on Patreon for as low as $1 a month, you get access to our special bonus after show, Billie Joe Armstrong's Middle School Notebook, where we will do follow-up on this, and I will challenge Sean to tell me that he doesn't like this song faster. I think it's going to sound better. I really do.
Okay, I'm interested. I'm not throwing it out. I'm just like, I'm kind of just flabbergasted that this is so particular that like this one song that if you could just raise it 10 beats per minute, that it would be like that much better of a song.
Like, spoiler alert, one of my songs was Misty Mountain Hop, and I'm like, I want to make a Lord of the Rings love song in 2019. And just like be accepted as like a wholly good song and be like, yeah, this is great.
Oh man, you gotta leave the classics where they are.
No. You gotta be a time thief, but you have to commit only a minor crime.
Yeah, but you're not leaving the classics where they are. You're basically taking like an 80s cult classic and you're turning it into 10 beats faster.
Yeah, but I'm not changing it. I'm not like going in and
Yes, you are. You're adding 10 beats that changes.
But I'm not going in and redoing the vocal or anything.
What? You wouldn't.
I'm not saying I want to be the one playing lead guitar on this. Like, I don't envision myself as some kind of replacement Robert Smith. That would be ridiculous.
He doesn't have the hair for it. Well, most importantly.
I definitely don't have the hair for it.
Okay.
Well, Sean, why don't you tell us about your song then?
If you feel so strongly.
If you feel like you're so good at figuring out the perfect song to steal.
Will do. So this week for my song, I chose Jeannie Becomes a Mom by Caroline Rose. I've been listening to this song for the past 4 months, at least 24 to 79 times a week, because I absolutely adore this song. And the reason that I picked it is because it's fairly recent, so if I went back and took it, there is a realistic chance that I could get away with it. It doesn't it's not referenced by thousands of other artists. I could probably get away with learning all the parts for it if I had the equipment, so I could actually perform it live. I couldn't do Caroline Rose's voice because it's stunning and beautiful, but that said, when I was writing music, I did have lyrics that were kind of close to this, and so I was like, I could get away with this. This wouldn't be too far of a stretch for me to actually do this. That said, I could never do this because it's so good. It hurts me. What do you guys think?
You're right, this song is incredibly good. Like, I've never heard of Caroline Rose, and I'm totally going to check her out after this because it's just so perfectly done. It's catchy. It's simple. The instrumentation is wonderful. Like, whatever synthesizer or keyboard she's using for that lead part is just great. Like, it's so distinctive. I've never really heard anything exactly like it, but it also reminds me of things I've heard before. Like, it has that weird kind of like retro futurist vibe, which I really like. And her voice is really distinctive, which I think helps this song a lot. Like, she's not just any kind of wispy singer-songwriter girl. She has a really interesting inflection and an impressive range. Yeah, I really like this a lot. And you probably could get away with this. I feel like you could do a good cover of this.
I feel like this would go really well in the part of the playlist that has Kali Uchis on it.
Uh-huh.
Which is interesting that this is somehow Sean's secret vibe, which is like slightly like funk, R&B, like soulful like women vocalists, kind of like a little smooth, a little sexy, like, but then otherwise it's like so it's like, dude, Sean's got like two modes. It's either Jane's Addiction or it's Kali Uchis. And you know, sometimes they get dangerously close, and sometimes the songs might kiss a little. And you're like, you know what? Maybe that's the Sean flavor. Interesting. You know, I just can't get over this album art, though. It really like just stares at me, and it's just disturbing. I just can't get over it. So I feel like I'm like almost blinded to the song. I feel like this is also going to be a slow burner for me, because like Taylor's like right off the bat, love this. But I feel like that's kind of like our relationship, where it's like, if we all listen to a song, I'm going to be like, this is okay. And then like, I'm going to put it on randomly one time and then be like, oh, this is my song of the week. And I'm going to listen to this 20 times. So this hasn't hit me yet, but it has all the components of a song that I would like. And that's good. Now that being said, is this a single by this artist?
Yes, it is. It charted at number 39 on the New Alternative 40 chart.
Nice. So, and this is their second album? Second album.
Sure.
Feels a little, I'm saying it's a little bit of a time crime. I feel like it's a medium crime.
What?
Because I feel like on Spotify, this is their second most popular song. If that song just didn't exist. Is this whole album like full of bangers? This is like an excellent album, you think?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I just want this song now.
That's fine. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm thinking about like what this does to the artist if they suddenly don't have that song in their pocket.
Well, it's good. That's why I picked it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you want me to pick like something on like the back catalog or something?
Yeah, Tyler's trying not to cause real damage here.
Yeah.
He's being too polite. He's a polite criminal. He breaks into your house and steals the loose change.
Oh, you're the worst criminal on earth. You basically just go and pick up someone's trash and put it in the dumpster and say, oh, there you go, I got you out of a fine, bud. He's like going around. He got like, Taylor gets a citation for putting quarters in the meter so people don't get tickets.
Go ahead, Tyler. Tell us what scraps you're picking up off the floor.
Oh my god. I didn't say that or those words. This week I chose Cherub Rock by Smashing Pumpkins. So this is my favorite Smashing Pumpkins song. Sorry, everyone. I knew I loved it when it was on Rock Band. Sorry again, everyone. I mean, this is on an album that has a lot of good hits on it. This has Quiet Today, Disarm, probably more. At minimum, there's already like 3 like top like Smashing Pumpkins songs on this album. And it's not even, I'd even take a song from Melancholy Infinite Sadness. Someone would have noticed that. Someone would have noticed if...
I don't know. That song has 2 discs. It's like 25 songs.
I'm just saying, you take off 1979, someone's gonna notice.
Correct.
So now, that being said, Cherub Rock is the 4th most or 5th most popular song on their Spotify. So I understand that I'm doing a time crime by taking a song within their top 5. But I would say that it's an album that has enough other hits on it that it's acceptable. It's an acceptable loss. If this was the only song, the only hit from this, fine, no problem. But I mean, the lyrical content is just kind of fun to sing. It feels a little nonsensical. And I just think that guitar riff, it's just totally the style I would go for, where it's just like, you know what? We're going to keep doing this over and over again, this one riff. And you know what? It's going to be great. We're going to love it. It's so crunchy, so distorted.
Here's what you need, Tyler.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
You go get yourself a nice Strat, all right? Doesn't have to be that good of a Strat. Just any kind of Strat. Let's say you find one for a good deal, even if it's a Squier Strat, $200. You can get Electro Harmonix just re-release the Op Amp Big Muff, which is the pedal that Billy Corgan uses for most of the Smashing Pumpkins. That will set you back $68 if you pay full price for it. And then you find like a little Marshall, our Marshall style. You probably get one for $100. $400, you can sound just like Billy Corgan on this album.
Time crime. Let's do it.
So yeah.
I mean, what can you say? It's Cherub Rock. It's classic.
It is.
It's, one of their best songs, like you said. It is definitely the one that I think is probably most in your range, right? Like, not to badmouth you or anything, but there are times where Billy Corgan does stuff vocally where I'm like, nobody else can sing that. This song is very attainable. I think that's part of the reason it was in Rock Band. It is a classic. That guitar riff is great. The drum part on this is super fun. Always love the drums on this. Like, what a great album opener. I mean, just coming out of the gate strong on Siamese Dream. This is awesome.
All right, now it's time for notable B-sides. And these were songs that were so close from getting, well, they were going to get nabbed, but now their history will just maintain the course. Stay the course, guys. Anybody got some notable B-sides?
I only have 2 this week. Dang is Invincible by Open Mike Eagle, and A Teenager in Love by The Pains of Being Pure at Heart. who just broke up recently, which is very sad.
Oh, dang. Misty Mountain Hop by Led Zeppelin. Gotta get the lead out eventually. We're gonna get there, guys. This podcast is gonna come around.
See, I really thought about picking some real lowbrow stuff, like Party Rock Anthem, or I was so gonna pick Gundam Style, because I was like, man,
wouldn't it be nice to be that rich?
I just want something that's like, that's what I mean, just be so like the crazy popular, and just be a one-hit wonder and just walk off, you know? I think those would be awesome songs to do, if like one-hit wonder, just because there's like nothing. You might inspire somebody, but you never have to worry about like what happens after the fact, right? And maybe that's what one-hit wonders are.
They absolve themselves of guilt. They say, anything after this, not my problem.
Well, there's nothing that comes after it. So, I don't know. Maybe White Wedding by Billy Idol. I like doing karaoke to that song, so I guess I'd pick that one. There's so much stuff. Just go down the list.
Well, Tyler, if people want to join your Smashing Pumpkins takeover band, where can they do that?
Hey, everybody. You can find my design illustration work at rudepets.club. And, of course, as always, you can find me on the socials as Rude Pets Club on Instagram and Twitter.
Sean, if people want to learn more about indie synth pop, where can they hear about that from you?
Yeah, if you've got an awesome synthesizer collection and you like reverb, you can find me on Instagram at Sean_Adelray.
And if you want to talk to me about The Cure, I really want to learn more about them. I don't know a lot. You can tweet at me at TC Olmstead, and we'll be back next week with 3 more songs on another episode of No Repeat.